Random stream. I am Vineet, if you already don't know. And Today we're gonna do some random stuff, I guess. I'm trying not to curse, especially when I'm on camera, not doing this in general. I mean, but it's one of the bad habits per se. Because whenever I do stand-up comedy, curse is sort of one of those things which naturally comes in your mind, I guess. At the same time, I don't curse as much in general when I speak with people, but I don't also try to block it. But especially when it comes down to live streaming and whatnot, I try to cut it down because my dad watches this. Yeah, I'm surprised too. He does. I don't think that he watches the entire hour, but maybe the first few minutes. So at least I'll try refrain from cursing in the first few minutes. How about that? Uh, but this is fun. I mean, just going through the randomness of internet is super fun for me, and I actually enjoy this for multiple reasons. Like first of all, um, it is kind of no agenda live stream. I can just talk about random thing. Moreover, just going through random topic, give it sort of like a flavor to the whole stream. And I suck at planning some of these things in advance, so I would rather just live stream and have this conversation, one-sided maybe, but have this conversation instead of not doing it, I guess. uh, because in my experience, like, creating content is, well, you have your ups and downs, but it could be easy if you know what you want to do, but it could be very difficult when you have when you have no idea about what you want to talk about and how you want to talk it through and whatnot. So I found this as a happy medium where I can still talk about random things, and at the same time, I don't have to put in any advanced planning, so to speak. So this works out well for me. And if you ask my parents, especially my mom, she would have said, like, I'm one of the laziest person you would ever see. So, um, well, but that being said, I'm pretty productive when it comes down to some of the things. But at the same time, I've tried to find the path of least resistance, which is sort of what aligns with the universe, right? Like, if you think about it, the universe always finds the path with least resistance, and that's true with, like, physical laws, electricity, for example, even other forces in the universe. The path of least resistance is the key. So is evolution. If you look at it, like, evolution, evolve, like any being evolve slowly over a part of, over a vast timeline, right? And beings evolve slowly because we choose to take the path of least resistance, and there is nothing wrong with that per se, but you also have to figure out the path of least resistance should be productive, or should be fruitful, or let me rephrase it. Like, one of the concepts I have is to look at the patterns of successful people, and then see how I can adapt those patterns in my life. So that is a path of least resistance, right? Because I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I don't have to um, um, I don't have to kind of like find my own way to become successful, even though everyone at the very basic level find their own path, create their own path to their successful life, whatever that means for them. But we do so by either learning by observing others, or learning by going through that experience multiple times. And depending on the situation, or depending on the area of my life, I guess. Sometimes I just choose to learn by doing it, and other times I choose to learn by observing what others are doing successfully and see how I can adapt that. Um, that kind of takes me back to this plan, life plans, if you will. I was practicing a while back, and I'm gonna bring it back again because I feel that that's very productive and very helpful to kind of create narrative for your life. And that life plan was pretty basic, simple, right? Like I had this to-do task every single day, and those tasks include working out, going to my open mic, writing a page of journal, reading maybe like 10 pages of a book, um, and now I'm blanking, but maybe like meditation if I already haven't said that. And just doing some brain exercises and things of that nature. So, and the reason why I created that for me is because I kind of like to do all of those, first of all, and on top of that, I observed that people I admire and look up to, up to a certain degree at least, practice some or all of these, like working out, meditation, reading books, writing journal. These are like some of the core things which most of the people who made a name for themselves does. So that's why I figured like, okay, I'm gonna adapt those things in my life. However, I have freedom to kind of define what workout means for me, what meditation means for me, what journaling means for me, and obviously what reading a book means for me. And that's that's uh, that's what I mean when I say observe the patterns of the ideas of the people which are kind of successful by your definition, and then adapt those and make it your own, make it your innate, part of your life. And honestly, when I was doing it, and I did it for a while, and I had to take break for multiple reasons, but I did it, I believe, as recently as in April, back in April, right? And now I'm gonna bring it back either from this week or next week. Uh, I'm kind of skeptical from this week because I haven't completed some of the tasks, like working out. I haven't worked out in a while. Clearly, I got like so much fat belly. I mean, obviously you can't see, and that's a good thing. But I'm gonna bring all of those back in my life because I feel I was having those fulfilling moments. I was having more fulfilling moments when I was practicing some of those things. And yeah, I guess that being said, I will switch back to this wheel of names where we're gonna pick one of these random topics and we're gonna just go and randomly check out something on there. So if you missed out my recent live stream, then I was reviewing some reviews on IMDb, and it was fun. Like some comments were kind of funny, some were kind of like out there, but also it kind of showed me like how much amount of time, patience, energy people put in when they reviews movies or or something. And my personal favorite so far is I would say, well, it's a combination of Reddit and Wikipedia. I mean, I enjoy IMDb, but I haven't done it more than twice, I guess. Reddit is kind of fun if you get into like a good subreddit. Um, and Wikipedia is kind of like the ultimate randomness because you let the AI decide what article you want to, review. But that being said, let's click to spin and come on, come on. Come on. What happened here? Click to spin. I'm clicking. Come on. Are you serious? Okay. I gotta take a look at this very quickly. Okay, what happened here? Alright, cool. Let's click. There you go. IMDb 2 days in a row. Hell yeah, let's do this. Well, the Avatar, The Way of Water, gonna be releasing in December, I believe. Let's. What do I want us to do? Yesterday, I did some of the, random Hollywood movies. So, how about let me check out some Bollywood movies? Obviously, typing Bollywood wouldn't give me anything, but I was maybe like I'll click on one of these random movies and go from there. Okay, the Bollywood, the greatest love story ever told, with Amitabh Bachchan and Aishwarya Rai, back in 2011. I must have missed it. And looking at the rating, it seems like I haven't missed much. Okay, so I bet this clearly 5.8 is terrible. But 1 star. No 1 star? 2 stars. 3 stars? Are you serious? Come on. No 4 stars? So I think people anonymously just voted. Wow. Okay, so just one reviewer, one person with All Rise. It says innovative structure, big energy inspiration, phenomenal editing. The directors avoid the usual formulas and trope in analyzing the industry and investigating its dark underbelly. They also don't get defensive about Bollywood's reputation in comparison to Hollywood. They just celebrate the outrageous spectacle and weave their own story from clips of Bollywood's best films. If you know India, then you will see the history of the country through clever, symbolic editing. If you don't know India, then you will get a one stop montage tour through the best of its cinema. Watch for the subtext because, though it may just seem aesthetic, the clips are very intentional in their chronology and assembly. Alright, Mr. Allrice or Miss Allrice. Let me see what other. Mere Pyare Prime Minister. What is this about? A story about 4 children living in a Mumbai slum in India. An 8-year-old Kanhu writes a letter to the PM after a dramatic incident with his mother. A small boy has to achieve the impossible. Alright, we're gonna skip this. Yeah, I like this movie. Ram Prasad Ki Tervi. This was kind of fun. Yeah, the matriarch of the oh no, the patriarch, I guess. The patriarch of the family dies, and all the family members come together, and yeah, it's all the drama when people come together. So Baoji's entire family comes under one roof for 13 days after he passes away. We get a glimpse of their dynamics, politics, and insecurities as each one of them is on their journey to discover their own selves and truth. Let's see if we got any 1 starers here. There gotta be at least 5. At least 5? Just 3. Okay. So Shazad 49506 says, great acting, great directing, but the story and the end of story was so dull and depressing. The ending is so lame and depressed. That was not a good, helpful review. And 4 people out of 26 found this helpful. Great casting for average subject. I was expecting some humor as mentioned, but there is one family drama, nothing else. Such a great casting, but poor concept. Can't even one time watch. What? Watched only for great actors, but found nothing special. You might like it. Very boring and dead movie. A funny dead movie. It's because it's based on a dead person, meaning someone. I don't know why people liking it. It's their choice. Maybe, of course, maybe they're watching IPL side by side. IPL is Indian Premier League, which is a cricket league. Uh, in Corona scenario, why such movie was even made? What? It's not comedy nor it's serious movie. It's very dry and rough and boring. Not even worth watching once. You will sleep while seeing the movie. There is no scene in the movie which is worth watching. Nasiruddin, it can't even pronounce Nasruddin or can't even type Nasruddin's name right, let alone all the other spelling mistakes. Nasruddin Shah dies in first scene, but if he actually must have watched the full movie, he would have reached in coma. Talented actors like Vikrant Masay, Konkana Sen, and Vinay Patak are wasted. It's completely messed up story. Is it, bro? Munish Call. Let's see what other movies you like. The Married Women. Absolutely brilliant. Okay. What is this about? A wife, a mom, a teacher, a homemaker. She's played all the roles, but what about being true to herself, being Asta? Be a part of Asta's journey as she breaks boundaries set by society to find herself. Okay, look like one of those women empowering movie, and she's cute, so I guess. Um, Absolutely brilliant. I don't know whether Riddhi Dogra and Monica Dogra are related to each other or not. Their performance was magnetic. Okay. Uh, I'm not gonna read all of that, but The Wolf of Wall Street, wonderful. Focus, amazing movie. Have seen it many times. If you love gambling and taking risk, is it? I don't think I've seen this movie. The Sting This Ant. Let this movie serve as a cautionary tale for dummies who want to make a con artist movie. Don't. You are out of your depth. This movie made no sense. The romance in it made no emotional sense and was not set up properly. The twist was obvious and made no sense. Who are you, Margaret? I can feel you that a lot of things in this movie didn't make any sense to you. Seized it, The Grifters, The Sting, House of Games, Ocean's 11, The Spanish Prisoner, Film Flam Man, Matchstick Men. Whoever in New Orleans agreed to have this shot there did not read the script. It portrays New Orleans as the leading American city in which to get your valuables jacked. If you believe someone could pull your wedding ring off your finger without you noticing it, you will maybe like this film. If you still insist on seeing this, check your logic at the door or be prepared to be angry. Don't say you weren't warned. Ooh, Margaret saving people's time. And she's been IMDb member for 17 years. Reviewed and just reviewed one. Wow, that she really must have not liked the movie. I mean, she did rate bunch of other movies. Okay, Ashes to Ashes, Shakespeare in Italy, Chilling Adventure of Sabrina. Chance. What is this? Is this is a TV show? A forensic neuropsychiatric reluctantly enters a danger and violent world of mistaken identity, police corruption, and mental illness. Ooh, got good ratings. Maybe I'll check it out. Thanks, Margaret. Mobin say it's the poor pure crap. Huge lorry sure has really fallen since house. I mean, this is really bottom of the barrel, akin to 90s pseudo psychological, sexy, sleazy, clinical stick, which no one ever liked, even back then. What a waste of time. Awful, awful, awful! This is the most fucked up program I have ever seen, and I think it was written by a group of patients in a mental institution. Don't bother watching it. It is not even entertaining in any way. Anyone who likes it does not have much to do. What? Anyone who likes it does not have much to do. Okay, I really did not want to say this much as the first sentence covers everything that I want to say. And still you did. M. McCurney? Wow. Just reviewed this one show. Must have really triggered you somehow. Alright, let's go back to the married woman. And from here, we gonna jump off to something else. Let's see. His story? Chakravyuh. Why are the names different? Is that not in Hindi? Inspector Virkar crime thriller. Okay. 7.4. When a college student gets murdered in a ghastly manner, Inspector Virkar from the crime branch gets called in. Alright, Virkar, good luck. Love scandals and doctors. What? Love scandal and doctors? Seriously? LSD? This must have a lot of terrible ratings. 1% of the people says it's terrible, even though 78% says it's awesome. Wow. Total waste of time. Don't go with the reviews of 10 of 10. It's a total crap. Don't even deserve 1 star. As the series starts, it appears that it's going to be a good mystery, but when you reach second or third episode, you realizes that it just stretched without any reason. Bad acting and direction. Bhupender. All reviews have same headline. Seems like these were paid by the movie makers. Interesting but long. This series is about the interns and doctors and is really interesting. They have managed to show all elements like love, scandals, friendships, betrayal, families, professions, thrills, murder mysteries, twists to make a proper OTT series. The direction was good and everyone played their characters well and contributed equally to the series, especially Ishan, Ayush, Ashmita. Ayush played magnificently. The, the only concern is the length, which is 15 episodes, as some stories and twists were unnecessarily created. They could have avoided it. It should be released on a long weekend. Samir Lodaya. Wow. There is a list called Indian films and shows with male nudity? Seriously? What in the world is this? Feels Like Home, Shiddat, Carefree, Punch Beat, Class of 2020, Triple X Uncensored, Criminal Justice, Shahid, Mumbai, Tota Pataka Item Mal, College Romance, Mumbai Diaries 2611, Chitpas, Love Scandals and Doctors, Oh Mother Season, Mirzapur, Patal Lok, Afsos, Hello Mini, Flip, Smoke. I don't know. I might have seen maybe like two or three of these, but it's not like male nudity. It's more they seriously. It has male small glimpses of bare butt. Yeah, this is yeah. I want to see if there is a list with female nudity, and I'm sure they're gonna be like a huge. If there is one, they're gonna be Indian films and shows with female nudity. All right, let's check that out. Sacred Games, I've seen it. Mera Naam Joker, seen it, but there is no nudity, bare butt. Seriously, where? That's a pretty old movie too, 1970. Bandit Queen, I might have seen it. Colors of Passion, nope. Beer Boys and Vodka Girls, nope. Parched, I've seen this. This is a pretty strong movie, um, and yeah, the storyline was pretty interesting. Biryani, I don't think I've seen it, and that looks like a Malayali movie. Chayam Pusia Vedu, what? The Cloud Door, Maya, Adai, Sagar. I've seen, no, I don't think I've seen that movie, but I've seen that nip slip probably. Kriya. Kriya. Cosmic Sex. Gandu. Unfreedom. Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Party, CRD, Nude. Sucks, Trucks, and Tater. Never heard about that. Kutti Shrank. Ram Teri Ganga Meli. Almost Bare Boobs. I think I might have seen this movie a while back. That again old movie, 1985. All right, let's go back to the main page. Let's start with something else. Badai Do. This was kind of fun movie. Atrangire. I don't think I've seen this one. A Tamil boy meets a girl from Bihar. What follows is a love story for the ages, a non-linear narrative of two romances running in parallel from different timelines. It says 6.5 out of 10 here, right? But sorry, my bad. I thought it said over 7 there. The Peripheral. I actually like this show. I mean, there are only 3 episodes so far. When is the fourth episode airing? This Friday. Yeah, so I've seen all three of them, and it's still kind of bit slow every here and there. So I'm hoping that they build up to something. They're building up to something. But let's check out some of the 1 stars here. Sorry, we don't get it. So slow, so boring. I have no idea what's going on. It looks as if Hollywood run out of stories. You get everything here: money, drugs, guns, nice cars, and the last and most important part that this movie does not have is a good story. It's just so boring. Every minute of this show just dragging with hope. It's going to end soon. Sorry, and the rating of 8.4. Like, what is this? Titanic has this score, and you can't compare the two. I feel as if all big name actors' movies come out with high scores, keeping fingers crossed, hoping for the best. So many sci fi shows coming out, but none are good enough to last. I have barely stayed awake during the first episode. I mean, sure, it's a slow start, like I was saying earlier, but it's building on to something. I can feel it. Sci fi, it is getting lazier, or audiences dumber, or both. There are certainly some good concepts and visual element, but this is just more of the same cliche by the numbers sci-fi channel plot. It's embarrassing that with all this money and talent, they can think of nothing else to do but rehash the same contrived platitudes that every futuristic sci fi story has done, and a lot better. Are we supposed to take this stuff seriously? The Matrix had more thought provoking ideas, as did any Westworld iteration. And at least Westworld had an impressive idea of the future. This nonsense still has people using cash and wearing Apple Watches. I realize not all sci fi is for everyone, but they have a platform to really do something thought provoking and continue to spew out of complete garbage. Quantum Leap meets Westworld. That's kind of sort of true. I mean, if you that statement sort of touch on like the bigger concept of the movie for sure. So the producers behind Westworld decide to take a stab on their spin on Quantum Leap, and this is what you get. Very formulaic and predictable, which translates to being boring. Boring as in we have all seen it before, which we have. Can you can you use, say, Quantum Leap, where the producers borrowed the idea of time travel, but with a twist? In Quantum Leap, they travel back in time, and in Peripheral, they travel forward in time. And in the Peripheral, the producers add their own franchise to Westworld to it by way of the idea of transferring the human mind to host bodies. After watching the first couple of episodes, we have a very good idea where this series is heading. It's heading to boredom land. Avoid this series if you value your time. It's a waste of time being at 1+ hour each per episode. Every good review is about how it looks, and every review about the story is bad. Same nonsense about what goes on in VR land. Oh my, what's real and what isn't? Is there any difference? Children, infants could tell you where this is going. Amazon has the worst development team in the world, and it's impossible that William Gibson did more than cash a check on this. Why so many viewers fall for these kind of fairy tales at this point is a greater mystery than any nonsense can contain. And what's a big deal with how it looks anyway? It's not hard to look good when you're just photographing reality CGI big in a bunch of extra images. Can't understand what they are saying. Kathleen Stilk. Poor British English. Slurred. So hard to understand. Let me see if I can do British English. British. I can't even pronounce British in British. Poor British English. Slurred. So hard to understand. Even when, even when, even, even when, even when you break, even when you break up. No, that's I don't know what kind of accent was that, or if any. Even when you back up 10 times to re-listen. Plus, storyline is too confusing. I have no idea how to interpret it. I suck at accents, and I gotta get better at this for sure. Maybe I should watch more British shows. Probably. All right. Storyline is too confusing. Of course, it seems to be a rip-off of The Matrix, which I didn't like either. Seriously, Kathleen? Scenario: make stories so illogical and confusing that viewers think they are more intelligent than others by stating they understand this mix up. Very dark look at AI. The young girl is an impressive actress and will go far. I honestly don't feel it should be necessary to watch all episodes before you can get an idea of what is going on. This does not leave me wanting more, and I truly believe one has to have a sadistic, mentally disturbed mind to keep watching The Peripheral. Nice music and visually impressive, but extremely violent and disgusting. This is not entertainment. Kathleen. What are your views for coming to America? Some great cameos. Okay. And the glorious must see. Oh, wow. It's approved. It's Kathleen approved, so we gotta check out. The younger generations need to see the genuine struggles that women faced 50 years ago before women's lib, before sexual harassment had a name. No matter how you feel about marriage, religion, abortion, or civil rights, this is a really honest portrayal of the women's movement. Gloria Steinem is a true heroine. Oops. 5.9 ratings? Why? The story of feminist icon Gloria Steinem's itinerant childhood and its influence on her life as a writer, activist, and organizer for women's rights worldwide. All right, Gloria, let's check you out. She is or was? Yeah, she is an American journalist. Gloria Marie Steinem is an American feminist journalist and social political activist who became nationally recognized as a leader and a spokeswoman for the American feminist movement in the late 1960s and early 1970s. Steinem was a columnist for New York Magazine and co-founder of Miss Magazine. What? MS Magazine? MS is an American feminist magazine co-founded in 1971. That's interesting. I mean, the image is definitely pretty strong. Oops. Oh, poor lady, she's crying. With phone and time, phone and clock on one hand, phone, mirror, a car wheel, and an iron, clock, and dusting, cooking pan, and a typewriter, and a child in her womb, and a cat. Cat. Wow, women tell the truth about their abortions. And when was this? Preview issue 72. Wow. Good job, Gloria. I bet. Feel like you made a difference in the world. So kudos to you. Wait, she went to India too? What? Could be an interesting watch, but why the ratings are so low? Oh, there are a lot of 6 stars. Let's check it out. Let's start with 1 star and then we'll go to 6 star. It lacks focus, says Stevie Levy 67. Horrible. Oh my god, don't run. Huh? Don't run. Was looking forward to this film, but was horribly let down. Did Gloria approve this production? It's shameful and boring. So sad this story they could have been inspiring was a drain and the exact opposite. Oh no, there were a lot of 6 stars. So let's check out some 6 stars. Bus ride. Spoilers. Well, that's a long review. Greetings again from the darkness. Who hasn't dreamt of having a conversation with their younger self in hopes of instilling some wisdom to improve the forthcoming life decisions? Writer director Julie Taymor, Frida, and co writer Sarah Roll have adapted Gloria Steinem's autobiography, My Life on the Road, and used cross country bus trips as a vehicle, allowing Miss Steinem to chat with herself at four different stages of life. The feminist icon and activist is played by four actors: Oscar winner Julianne Moore, Oscar winner Alicia Vikander, Lulu Wilson, The Haunting of Hill House, and Ryan Kiera Armstrong as the youngest Gloria. Ryan Kiera Armstrong? I mean, I don't know if Ryan is a unisex name, but maybe. Childhood is called the formative years for a reason, and we do get a taste of how Gloria's nomadic hustler of a father Leo and her mother Ruth influenced the woman she became. Her father explained that travel is the best education, while her mother struggled with mental instability after being forced to give up her writing career. Bucking the male dominated world began in the era portrayed by Miss Vikander, and it takes up most of the first half of the film. Discrimination and harassment were commonplace as she fought to be taken seriously as a journalist and writer. This portion includes her trip to India, where she was heavily influenced by the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi. In addition, we see Gloria's time as a undercover Playboy bunny and the reactions that her corresponding article caused. Miss Moore is on screen much of the second half, including the founding of Miss Magazine and her affiliation with other activists like Dorothy Pittman Hughes, Flo Kennedy, Wilma Mankiller, and of course Bella Abzung. There's a moment on the bus when Miss Moore's Gloria tells her younger self, Miss Vikander's Gloria, speaking your mind will get you into trouble. It sounds like a warning, but in fact, it's motivation for what's to come. Miss Tamar's film cuts between periods of Stanham's life with the multiple Glorias in action. The bus rides are an interesting choice as looking out of windows, we and Gloria sees the streets of New York, the palette of India, miles of nature, and even her own father on the road in his car. Outside is filled with the colors of life, while inside the bus, the colors are muted, often black and white. We see actual clips of the 1963 March on Washington, D.C., including Mahalia Jackson and the 1977 National Women's Conference. It just feels like something's missing here, like the movie doesn't have the heft Miss Steinem deserves. Sometimes Miss Taymor's approach is a bit too artsy for the story, and there is only a brief mention of Miss Steinem's nemesis, Phyllis Scalafly. Despite much attention to abortion and women's rights, Gloria's passion for issues is clear, and we note her motivation to transform an environment that stifled her mother. The film's music comes from Oscar winner Eric Goldenthal, and the cinematography from Rodrigo Prieto, frequent collaborator of Martin's. All right. Not so great, says Hans Carlin. Neither one thing nor the other, say Raw Footage Podcast. Raw Footage. What is this? Raw Footage Podcast? Member since 2019, film producer from Bath, UK, providing reviews at rawfootage.co.uk. What is that? Yay, nay, or may 193, Cinema edition. Probably YouTube. Bormi Vank Chark. More meditative than spooky. What is this? Obviously, it's a foreign or international movie, but which um, seems kind of like Asian. Okay, so I want to see the language. Come on, come on. Where's the language? Where is the language? Lao. What is Lao? This is the first time I heard that there is a language called Lao. Lao is sometimes referred to as Laotian, is a Kra Dai language of the Lao people. It is spoken in Laos, where it is the official language for around 7 million people, as well as in northeast Thailand, where it is used by around 23 million people, usually referred to as Isan. Lao serves as a lingua franca among the citizens of Laos, who also speak approximately 90 other languages, many of which are unrelated to Lao. It is a tonal and analytic language similar to other Kra Dai languages as well as to Chinese and Vietnamese. Spoken Lao is mutually intelligible with Thai and Isan, fellow southwesterner Thai languages, to such a degree that their speakers are able to effectively communicate with one another speaking their respective languages. These languages are written with slightly different scripts but are linguistically similar and effectively form a dialect continuum. Although there is no official standard, the Vientiane dialect became the de facto standard language in Lao PDR, and the Konkan dialect became the de facto standard language in Isan in the second half of the 20th century. Kind of wonder how many people speak Lao. I'm sure there is some sort of stats. Well, that looks very similar to Devanagari. Dukh, yeah, Dukh, Papakam, Anumodana. Okay, well, what's going on here? Lan Zhang was religiously diverse, with most of the people practicing Thai folk religion, whatever the earliest and continuously used Theravada temple. That Vixen was built in 1513 by King so and so. His successor banned Thai folk religion and destroyed important animist shrine. Okay, with Theravada Buddhism came its linguistic language, Pali, which is an Indic language derived from the Prakrit. Many Pali terms existed alongside earlier Sanskrit borrowings or were Sanskritized, leading to doublets such as Sanskrit Maitri and Pali Metta, both of which signify loving kindness, although the Sanskrit term is more generally used for friendship. Maitri, okay, Maitri is, yeah, Mitra is friend. So Metta means loving kindness, which makes sense because, I mean, in Vipassana, there is this concept of metta. Vipassana is a Buddhist form of meditation. The spread of Theravada Buddhism spread literacy as monks served as teachers, teaching reading and writing, as well other basic skills to village boys, and the Thai no script was used for personal letters, record keeping, and signage, as well as to record short stories and the Klan poetry that were often incorporated into traditional folk songs. Shared Pali loan words from Theravada, um, uh, Ter, Thera, Theravada Buddhism. Punna mean merit or virtue. Dukha means suffering, misery. Yeah. Papakam means sin and transgression. It's Bapkam in Isan, Bapkam in Thai, Bapkam in Lao. Yeah. Anumodana, to share rejoicing. Sukh mean health, happiness. Vid- Vidya mean victory. No, knowledge and wisdom. Vidya, huh? Chakyug means bicycle, huh? Dhamma means dharma or mortals. So what is Dhamma called in Isan? Tham. So what is Prakrit? The Prakrits, Sanskrit, Jain Prakrit, are a group of vernacular Middle Indo-Aryan languages that were used in Indian subcontinent from around 3rd century BC to the 8th century CE. The term Prakrit is usually applied to the middle period of Middle Indo-Aryan languages, excluding earlier inscriptions and the later Pali. Pra- Prakrita literally means natural. Oh, Prakriti. So Prakrita, I guess. As opposed to Samskrita, which literally means constructed or refined. Interesting. Prakrita, Samskrita. Prakrits were considered the regional spoken informal languages of people, and Sanskrit was considered the standardized formal language used for literacy. I see. Official and religious purposes across Indian kingdoms of the subcontinent. Literary registered of Prakrits were also used contemporaneously, predominant by Sramana traditions, alongside classical Sanskrit of higher social class. I guess I can go on and on about this, and we are close to 1 hour mark. So let's do this. Let's dive back into one of this, and we'll call it a day. Who am I? 3.7. What? New friends Erin and Alex discovered a mutual attraction that neither of them have ever felt before. While Alex tries to navigate her feelings, Erin refuses to acknowledge that she might be gay and heads down a path of self destruction. Faced with Erin's denial, Alex must decide whether to follow her own path or fight for the first person she's ever loved. Basic and old fashioned, but in a good way. The Great and Terrible Day of the Lord. Interesting idea made by the wrong people. Okay, what is this about? For their first romantic getaway as a couple, Gabby and Michael takes a trip to a remote, upscale cabin in the mountains. The first night takes a terrifying turn when Michael slips into an alternate persona that claims to be God. Speaking through Michael's body, he delivers the message that Gabby will die before the end of the trip, and it's destined for hell unless she will believe that Michael's what Michael says is true. Repent and worship him. Is Michael a manipulative psychopath intent on gaslighting her? Is he mentally ill? Or could the impossible really be happening? A direct experience with her creator, offering one last lifeline out of unthinkable eternity. That seems some psychopathic crap. So, raw footage podcast. What's your view about this? I'm a fan of films that are largely two people talking. The end of the tour, Southside with You, The Two Popes, and Linklaters before trilogy are all films I have really appreciated. I was hoping for something similar here, but didn't get it. Broadly speaking, given the premise, I think there are three legitimate answers as to what's going on. Scenario 1. He is dangerously manipulative man or possibly cult leader who has lured his latest conquest to the middle of nowhere. Scenario 2. He's a nice guy who's suffering from a severe psychotic break. Scenario 3. He is God, or at least channeling God. What I was hoping for was a film where all three of those scenarios were equally valid and given equal weight in the discussions between these two individuals. It very quickly becomes apparent that instead what we are going to get is a long theology, philosophy seminar debating the existence of God. It also becomes apparent early that the filmmaker have a goal they want to get to. Both directors went to college in Pennsylvania, founded by the evangelist, and the male lead is the son of a famous Texan country singer. You can guess what side of the theology debate they come down on. It's also amateurishly made. The score is an obstructive mix of Carpenteresque electronica and church organs. The sound mix in general is severely subpar and edits with, I thought, and where is that? And edits within the same scene are often stilted and awkward. There are even more scenes where the framing is off. This didn't strike me as I'm going to break the rules for an artistic reason. It struck me as I don't know what the rules are. Essentially, this is a 2 hours of proselytizing. It has some okay ideas and okay acting, but it doesn't need to be this long and it doesn't need to come so firmly down on a specific side. Cool. I think I'm gonna review one other before Zebra go. Catherine's seemingly perfect rural life is turned upside down after she discovered her husband is hiding a dark secret that leads her to unthinkable murder. Oh. Black Bear with Aubrey Plaza. A filmmaker at a creative impasse seeks solace from her tumultuous past at a rural retreat, only to find that the woods summon her inner demons in intense and surprising ways. Oh wow, Aubrey is the perfect person to play that, I guess. I might check it out, like especially when I'm tripping or something. So it seems like a good watch. At least with 6.5. I mean, I might be breaking my own rule because my rule is never watch a movie or TV show with a rating less than 6.9. And there are exceptions, of course, but 6.9 seems kind of like a high enough standard. But at the same time, there are plenty of movies which doesn't deserve the rating they got, especially on IMDb and or Rotten Tomatoes. It's all kind of mixed bag of different reviewers. At the same time, I feel like I kind of believe in the wisdom of the crowd. If the crowd is actually being honest and not rating or reviewing based on some agenda or something. But with 12,000 votes and 6.5, I think that's pretty fair. I would say any movie or show with over 2,000 reviews and whatever the ratings are, gotta be like close to that. The quality of the movie or the story or whatever, gotta be close to that. Uh, but nevertheless, this is helpful. I mean, I almost never watch any show or movie without checking their IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes reviews for a valid reason, because Even though I watch a lot of content, I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my time on things which may, may make me even more frustrated, angry, or depressed than I'm already. So yeah, the better way to do is like, just look at the review. But with reviews, it's always a mixed bag. Sometimes you the review reflect the movie, and other times it's just some stupid ideology which drives all these ratings. Regardless, I enjoyed this, whatever this is, and hope to do this again, maybe tomorrow, if not definitely day after tomorrow. And until then,